We are going to start today on your notes with simplifying radicals. And to get us started off, I know that you've been shown other ways of doing this, but I believe this way is much easier. So whenever you're doing problems like this, I want you to start by writing square numbers. And what I mean by square numbers is 2 squared, which equals 2 times 2, which is 4, and then 3 squared, which is 9, and then 4 squared, which is 16, and then 5 squared is 25, then 36, and 7 squared is 49, 8 squared is 64. So all of these problems, I want you to have these numbers in the column at the side, and we're going to use them to look for factors. So here we go. Let's start with number 1. We're going to try and find factors of 75 from this list right here. So which one of these numbers is a factor? In other words, if you took your calculator and you pressed 75 divided by one of these numbers, which one of them would give you a whole number? And I'm quite experienced at this, so I can see quite quickly that this one is going to work. So go to your calculator and do 75 divided by 25, and what do you get? Well, you're going to get a 3. So what that means is we can rewrite this radical square root of 75 as root of 25 times root of 3. Should be easy for you to see that basically 25 times 3 is the same as 75. And now it's very simple, because what is the square root of 25, this part right here? Well, the square root of 25, you should know, is 5. You can do that by putting it in your calculator, or many of you will just be able to see that without even using too much thought process. And then square root of 3, we can't do anything with that, so we're just going to leave it. Okay, let's try another one. How about square root of 72? So our first step is look at our numbers right here. Can you see any factors? Okay, any direct factors that when we divide 72 divided by one of those numbers, it gives us a whole number? Well, the biggest factor I can see is going to be 36. So 72 divided by that 36, if I use my calculator, gives me 2. So I'm going to rewrite this 72 as the square root of 36 times the square root of 2. And again, you should see 36 times 2 is 72. Next up, what is the square root of 36? Well, that is 6. And the square root of 2, I don't know what that is, so I'm just going to leave it like that. So that's my final answer. I'm going to skip down to a more difficult one. Okay, how about this one right here? So here you will notice that there's a number right here, which makes it a little bit confusing. So the method I'd like you to use on questions like this is just kind of ignore it for a second. So I'm going to draw this little dotted line, all right? And as we go through, we're just going to leave that 4 to the side of the dotted line. And then we're just going to focus on this square root of 27 on the right. So same deal, we're going to look at our square factors right here. Can you see any numbers there that are going to divide into 27? Hopefully you can see that if we take 27, we can divide that by this number right here, can't we? So 27 divided by 9 equals 3. What that means is we can rewrite this right here as the square root of 9 times the square root of 3, because 9 times 3 is 27. Look at how well that worked out. So next, we're going to bring down the 4 because we're not doing anything to that. And then what's square root of 9? Well, the root of 9 is 3. And then the square root of 3, we can't do anything with that. So finally, we've got, well, we can simplify this. What's 4 times 3? That's going to be 12 square roots of 3. Good times. All right, now I'm going to work on this problem right here. Excuse me. And we're going to do something very similar. So we've got this 3 right here. that makes it look much more complicated. And I'm just going to kind of draw a line down here. Same thing, I'm just going to bring the 3 down each time, and then I'm going to focus on the 30. And this one's a bit of a silly question because I'm thinking to myself, well, let's again look at my square factors, and I can't find a factor. I mean, if I take that 30 and I start by dividing the 4, I don't get a whole number. If I divide by 9, that one doesn't work either. 16 doesn't work either. 25 doesn't work. There are no factors. So this number is actually already simplified and we can't do anything with it.